Hello and welcome to Top Fives, the show of everything. Top Five is presented by the Sex Effects. I'm Joey Prati.
And I'm Sean Day.
And folks, do we have just, I think, a pretty wonderful show for you this evening.
Pretty wonderful.
Pretty wonderful, kind of outside the box. And it's going to be a good time. But before we get to all the wonderfulness, Jonathan, how are you, my friend?
Just doing wonderful, y'all. I
I
guess.
love that.
Yeah, it's been well, I'm on the job hunt right now, and I'm on the apartment hunt right now. So
You're
it's
a hunter-gatherer of
hunter
sorts.
gatherer right now. So it's been it's been kind of refreshing actually, because it's nice to kind of get back into that. And Joey's been kind enough to help me a little bit too, outside of the show. So but yeah, it's kind of like a lot of that going on. Man, is this our first show? Yeah, this is our first show of the year, right?
No,
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 no, it's not.
no.
We had
Wait,
our best of
we
2021.
did have our best of. Yes.
But yeah, we're mid January. It's been kind of a cool January. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. That's all I
Nice.
got right now. Yeah.
Well, I am exhausted.
I don't blame you,
This
dude.
is
I don't blame you.
no. It's been very cold. I'm, but it's been good. It's been hectic, but it's also been slow. It's been all right. We had a 3 day weekend. So cheers to Dr. King.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Nice 3-day weekend.
Hmm.
Giving a little props up to Martin Luther King.
All the props, really.
All the props.
Um, but so yeah, so fuck, what do we do this weekend? We I'm gonna save it for share time because
Okay.
I found a new show and I'm
Ooh, a
just
new show.
yes, I can't recommend it enough. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I'm gonna save it for share time because I'm gonna. But I did a lot of binging this weekend. I'll
Ooh,
just say that.
nice. Cool. Cool.
Um, yeah, but we also found ourselves at North Beach, and which just I love being in North Beach. And went to my old stomping grounds in Russian Hill, and we went to it was Alicia's dad's birthday
Oh,
yesterday, so we went to Walnut Creek
okay.
and got to hang with him a little bit.
Cool.
Her folks and her brother, and it was a good time. And yeah, man. So they told me. So Christmas. Let me paint a picture for you. Christmas Day, Lisa's family's in Lafayette, and she's like, I was going to pick her up, and I wind up coming in for a drink, and um, her uncle, they're talking to me because I had mentioned, oh, I was in a band, blah blah blah, and they're like, so what's the name of your band? I was like, Blind Issues. And he's like, are you on Spotify? Yeah. Yeah. they didn't they didn't play it right there,
Okay.
but I find out last night that as soon as we left, her uncle was like, all right, what was the name? It was Blind Issue, let's put it on.
What?
And yeah, her dad was like, he had nothing to say, so that you beat him. Like, it's the first time I've seen him speechless. Must have been pretty good.
Cool.
um
That's cool, dude.
yeah, yeah, I
Hey,
re-listened to it today and I was like, you know what,
dude. Yeah.
pretty good. If
Sounds
you have
like
not yet listened to Blind Issues, uh uh
deep and meaningful is the
deep and meaningful,
yeah.
please do so. It's on Spotify.
It's on there. Try to play it, once in the week or whatever when I'm feeling
Yeah,
like saucy. It's a
that's
fun
how I
time.
dance to it.
Yeah, it's a fun
That's
time,
the
and I'm
bass
like,
line.
it's a good like. Honestly, it's kind of a good driving. Like the two songs, both two songs are good
Hmm.
for driving. I mean, I
I
know
agree.
we have a bias because we're in the band, but like, it's a fun driving like
we
soundtrack.
we make music that we ourselves would like and listen to, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, so I mean, I'm not saying that those are fucking high standards or anything. I'm just saying there are standards, and or
Yeah.
there's some type of standards. um And
it's
I think we
exciting.
have good taste. We have our own show, for God's sake.
Yeah, and
So,
I think it like I'm actually it's gonna be really cool to see like the next what we release next, and we've been talking about like which tracks we might resurrect some tracks from our previous
from the great
albums
beyond.
from the Great Beyond. We might work on some new ones. The like the way we recorded it like in the garage was super cool, so like that worked out so well, and we kind of approached it a little differently, kind of workshopping the song and then kind of recording it, so it was really cool. It was a cool process, and I can't wait to like share more of that. In fact, we should do, yeah, we took a little bit of video, but yeah, we should definitely document some more, and
Yes.
maybe
Yeah.
Joe cut up together some like a little documentary or something.
I would love to do that, honestly. I've been wanting to make a documentary about our band since high school.
Dude,
Um,
I'm sure between both our families we have old footage too of us playing in the
yeah.
band. So, um, but yeah, it was yeah, it's been yeah, it's been since when did we release October, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a few months, and
Yes.
check it out, guys. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Um, Alrighty. What has been going on in the world? There's been some news.
Some news.
The biggest one internationally, Prince William, or sorry, not Prince William, Prince Andrew has had his royal titles stripped of him because of
Oh
this
man.
whole Jeffrey. Don't get involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
He's dead. You can't do it anymore. But even if he wasn't, don't do it. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
What else has been going on? Joss Whedon did an interview. Did you read that interview?
No,
Came out
no,
yesterday.
no. Fill me in.
Did an interview with New York, and it came out on Vulture,
Okay.
which is where I read it. And he like did a hit piece on himself. The things that he was saying, it was like this man has no awareness to the situation whatsoever. He, because there was the complaint about Gal Gadot, or Gal Gadot apparently had a complaint about him to Warner Brothers, and his response in the interview was, well, English isn't her first language, so she just got confused. It's like,
Whoa.
no.
Whoa.
And then talking about Ray Fisher, why all his scenes were cut. He's like, he's just a bad actor in every sense of the word.
That's what he said in the interview? What?
Yeah. How he
Wow,
thought this was
shots
going to
fired.
get him any, like,
Yeah.
you know, um, very, it's just insane to read this piece. And like, you're crashing the car. You're doing it in slow motion, and yet you continue to
Yeah.
drive into the wall, back up, and do it again. Like, what the?
It's
Anyway,
like no damage control. It's the opposite of that shit. So
well, it's just complete hubris and ego, and someone that doesn't, that thinks they're untouchable or has that much power to act that way. It's insane.
yeah. Man,
Um,
I gotta read that for sure. Just to
mhm.
see what the response is. Because that's pretty wild, dude.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Damn.
Um, and then in memoriam, we lost Betty White
Betty
shortly
White.
before her 100th birthday.
Yeah, Betty White.
You know,
And
a
And
few
Bob
days before,
Saget too.
Bob fucking Saget. We
Saget, yeah.
lost Betty White, Bob Saget, Sidney Poitier.
Damn.
Um, who else? There was another person. John Madden. We lost John
Oh yeah,
Madden.
that's right, John Madden. Damn.
Daily City Boy, R.I.P. Been a lot of death lately. It's,
Yeah.
it's been
Especially in entertainment,
there.
yeah.
What year was that? Where like all these entertainers were dying, and it was like every day you woke
Seems
up,
like
you're like,
pretty
all right, who's it going
recent.
to be today?
Yeah.
It was like in the past. I don't. Was it around the time of Philip Seymour Hoffman? I can't remember,
It might have
but I
been,
feel like there
yeah.
was a time when, yeah,
There's just a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
different
It's
actors.
sad.
It is, yeah. Especially in the entertainment business, and especially doing it for like so long, someone like Betty White, that's
Yeah,
it's very, very tragic. But at the same time, yeah, we got to remember, the stuff they've been in and the things they've done, and that's the best way we can remember them. So yeah,
true,
true,
true.
true.
Um, yeah, Bob Saget came out of nowhere. That one was wild.
Yeah.
Um, Damn.
It was just weird. I was just watching like you ever watch Hot Ones, like the interview show? Oh, you've never seen Hot Ones,
No,
Joey? Oh, I'll
no.
put that on a share time then.
Okay.
But they had interview with Bob Saget, and that one kind of came up. It might have come up because of the recent death, but
Hmm.
yeah, I was just literally watching it like a few days before he passed, so it's kind of strange. But
What if they did it to get their viewership numbers up?
ooh, I don't know. I hope not. It was published like a few years ago, but
Hmm.
you know the YouTube algorithm, it creeps its way back to you. You know, you
The
find videos
algorithm
that are
is the
like,
death of all of us, bud.
yeah,
This is a thing that's going to be happening from now on.
from now on.
I just don't know. Uh, the fuck? I don't know.
Ah,
I don't know. What else? Anything entertainment wise? Not that I can really think of. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff, but I have no idea.
yeah, me either. So,
I've been watching Book of Boba Fett.
I've only seen the first episode.
I think
Is it
it's
okay?
trash.
Trash.
No, it's fucking awful. And I really hate that all they've given all the aliens fucking English voices now. Not English voices, but they all speak English.
Oh
Where I
yeah.
love the fact that all the aliens, had all these different languages and there would just be subtitles. But now, like
Yeah.
everyone is able to just kind of, I don't know, takes away a little bit. I don't know if you've seen the image making its way online, doing the rounds online of the speeder
No.
bikes.
Oh no, I haven't seen that yet.
No, oh man, we do not run in the same online circles, my friend.
Yeah, I haven't
Um,
been. I honestly, I've been kind of offline in a way.
God
Just
bless
with,
you. I
but
wish I could be that way. That's why my neck hurts so much
is
because I'm
it
always.
like they kind of destroyed the speeder look, or is it kind of like I don't mind. I mean, spoiler alert, I guess for people watching the show, the Boba Fett show, but I don't mind being spoiled. I guess on
Well,
this.
this isn't really a spoiler. It's just an image of some ships, and I'm going to send them to you so that so I want to get your live opinion of
Cool
these
man.
bikes. Why can't I just see the goddamn thing? This always happens whenever I'm. That's another song of us, but this always fucking happens whenever I'm trying to like show Sean something on my computer or whatever. I lose it and I can't find the thing that I was looking for.
It's all good.
And I think what happens is that the universe really does have it out for me. I really don't think God likes me very much. And you know, I don't want to say the feeling's mutual because what if he's real?
You're good, Joey. You're good, man.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anymore. All right. I'm gonna send you this thing. For the people that are like, I really like the parts of the show where you guys just talk to each other, you're welcome. This is a good time for you. All right, can you see that thing? I just put it in the
Yes.
chat.
Oh, sorry, guys. Let me pull this away. Okay, let's see if I can put this on the.
Oh, that'd be dope.
You guys can probably see it on the Twitch stream. Okay. What the hell?
Yeah,
This looks like a
yeah.
Power Rangers
That's what they've been
Power Ranger
calling it.
show.
Cyborg Power Rangers. It looks like shit.
It does. Not gonna lie. Why are there colors? Why? It's all about this like sand. I don't know. That's always been this aesthetic. Like,
Apparently, and I don't know how much of this I buy. They were like, it's a nod to George Lucas because he loved muscle cars from the 50s. It's like I don't buy that for a hot second. And if
yikes.
that is the reason, it's a stupid fucking reason to muck up
Yikes.
the universe like this. The other thing
Yeah.
that kind of goes hand in hand with like the aliens now speaking English is people are like just asking for human. I think humans have been referred to as humans, which pre-Disney Star Wars, there was a different name for humans in Star Wars Galaxy. I forget what it was. But like they refer to like, oh, we need water. It's like, think of, no one has ever said water in Star Wars. Like think of something else to call it. You know what I mean? It can still be water. It just is something, you have that freedom.
To create that world, it's
Yeah.
not grounded in, it's a galaxy far, far away still. So it's like,
Yeah.
these concepts that it should be like, yeah, these should be different. They should have a different language for this kind of stuff because they are not from where we're at. So
Yeah. And also, who the fuck asked for a Boba Fett show where he's A, not a bounty hunter, and B, a rising crime lord who's not very good at it? Like, how did he become a crime lord? Because he shot Bib Fortuna. What? Like,
yeah, jumped on
none
the
of this,
opportunity.
but like, it wasn't even a fucking challenge. It just, okay, he's dead now. It's me. Like, what?
Yeah.
It felt very kind of almost video gamey,
Yeah, kind of the different level kind of
you defeat
rise.
that boss and now you're this. I don't know.
Yeah,
I have a lot of problems with that show.
I liked how they incorporated him into like the Mandalorian, and I thought he was a good kind of side character to kind of get us into there. And yeah, I haven't watched I've only watched the first episode, so I actually don't really know what they're gonna try to do with this. It seems like it's like
The answer is nothing.
Nothing. What?
No, I have no idea. In 3 episodes, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. So far, it's like what's the kind of end goal, or what are we leading to? I guess
I'd say since Rise of Skywalker, this might be the worst piece of Star Wars I've ingested.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It just, yeah. To me, they're just fundamentally destroying Boba Fett, bone by bit or bit by bit, whatever. Not that he was ever that great of a character, because really he was just a look, but that look said so much. It was so intimidating, and this motherfucker keeps taking his goddamn helmet off. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. It's Star Wars. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore.
It's all good. It's all good.
My fandom is dead. All right.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, yeah, Star Wars. I mean, yeah, everyone's gonna have a different thing about Star Wars. We still hold like the original trilogy near and dear.
Feel so blessed that we grew up right before the prequels came out.
Yeah.
That we actually got to experience the trilogy as just the trilogy.
As the trilogy. I was just remembering like because I was thinking about VHS tapes that I used to have, and I remember having like the Star Wars trilogy on the 3 VHS tapes, like combo
I had
collection or something.
Yes, and there was the one because A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi each had a different like face, and then like a little thing in the in the foreground or whatever. But I can't remember what A New Hope was. But Empire was a stormtrooper, and Return of the Jedi was Yoda, or half of Yoda's face. So I think A New Hope was Vader, half of Vader's mask.
Yeah, probably Vader. Yeah.
And then in '97, the special editions came out.
Yeah.
And you either got the gold or the silver. I believe silver was widescreen and gold was full screen. So I had gold because we thought full screen was better back then. And those came with really nice slipcases for the VHS. Those were all Drew Struzan paintings.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I kind of wish I still had those.
Me too. I think about the moment where I'm like, I don't need these. Yeah, I've got them on DVD.
Oh, damn it.
You don't have those ones? You don't? You stupid fucking bastard. Jesus.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty crazy to think about. Like, we used to kind of own those things. I was just thinking about, you went, digital in this last few years.
Which I'm not happy about. Like, let me make that clear. Like, I think twice now before I ever purchase a movie, because it's like, if you own something digitally, you own it, in air quotes. If iTunes decides to stop carrying that movie, you don't have it anymore.
You don't have it anymore, yeah.
So, but that's the caveat to owning digitally. Go on with I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry. Oh no, that's kind of just it. Yeah, that's kind of what you're you're saying. It's just you know, we you know, I'm in, you know, I'm possibly moving out you know, soon, so it's like, oh, you know, I got to look through all my stuff and see what I need to take with me. And I know I have a box full of Blu-rays and DVDs somewhere in my garage right now. So, you know, I'm going to pull those up and be like, keep them, get rid of them, you know, like.
Well, it depends. You should at least, at the very least, keep the discs
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I think you made a
because
booklet, right? You did like like a,
I have like 6 or 7 or 8 booklets. Yeah, I've got like
man,
1,500 to 2,000
that
DVDs.
is a lot. That
Yeah.
is a lot, dude.
And when I moved back, my dad was like, "All right, we're going to the dumps," and I had to get rid of all the boxes. It was
Damn.
heartbreaking.
Yeah. I'm sure,
Yeah,
dude.
I saved Evil Dead though, because the Necronomicon. I saved
Oh
Book
yeah,
of
you
the
got to
Dead.
keep that special edition
Have to.
thing.
You have to. Yeah.
Damn. Physical media.
Speaking of special editions, should we
Yeah, let's hop
do?
into these top
Let's
fives.
let's top fives. Jonathan, would you like to go first? Or would you like I to go first?
I'll go first, Joey. I was
Okay,
just
go. You go first.
I mean, I've been watching a lot of like documentaries and stuff, and you know, kind of watching some old videos, and you know, hip hop is you know, I didn't grow up on hip hop, I would say, but you know, throughout our time, we have witnessed quite a lot of you know, I would say rap and hip hop legends, and it got me
Mm,
thinking, what are your top five, I guess, rap legends growing up?
I'm so happy you asked.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, my list is going to be very basic when it comes to this because I'm not a huge rap guy. I respect it. I love it. I feel a little too dumb for it a lot of the time. I can't keep up. It goes so fast, and there's so many smart insults that just go over my head that I'm just like, ah. But there's some really good stuff out there. So number five, I'm gonna go. Again, this is very basic, and I apologize, but I'm gonna go with Snoop the D O double
Oh,
G
Snoop
Snoop Dogg.
Dogg, dude.
Um, I really love his first album, Doggy Style, is really good, and his early stuff is he's hilarious. He's kind of scary, kind of menacing, but always laid back and fucking cool. He's become kind of a parody of himself the last 20 years, but that's okay. He's somehow managed to stay relevant and like keep kind of reinventing himself, whether he's Snoop Lion or then he's off drugs, he's back on drugs, like I seeing Snoop always brings a smile to my face. So number five, Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg action. Nice.
You know, you know.
You know, Snoop
Uh
Doggy Dizzle.
number four, um, I these this first 2 or 3 albums, you can't touch this motherfucker. But Eminem has also kind of descended into self-parody and not in a flattering good way for the most part. But man, Some Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP is one of the
Yeah.
hardest, fucking most lyrically insane things I've ever listened to. Again, you may not like, it's kind of how I feel about like Bukowski, right? It's kind of how I feel about Eminem. You might not like what he's saying, you might not agree with what he's saying, but you have to admire the way he's saying it.
Says it, yeah.
The words that Eminem used to be able to rhyme together, and his flows used to just you were on a fucking verbal roller coaster. Not so much anymore. Now it's da 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 da, and it's like, okay, anyone can rhyme, but the way he did it is it's fucking mind blowing,
Mm-hmm.
truly. As someone who just loves language and telling a story and painting with words, Eminem is a fucking poet, or at least he was. But there you go.
There we go.
That's one of the things that I kind of find tough about maybe being a rapper. Not that I find it tough because I never tried, but like, especially a persona like Slim Shady.
Hmm.
or a thug or gangster like Snoop Dogg or whatever, you can't you can't be like 60 and still like I'm still a thug. It's like you're either a multimillionaire or you're dead. You know what I mean? Like you're not a thug anymore. Like you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. Like what am I trying to say? But it's not as
The like,
you can't
yeah,
go
like the
for it. You
context
say
of
it.
what they're talking about in their lyrics and stuff at that
Yeah.
stage of their life, it should be something different, because that's
Yeah.
that's usually what it was, with hip hop and rap is them, at those earlier times of their careers. It's their language of like, this is how I grew up. This is how it is being like a gangster rapper, or like, being living that lifestyle almost, right?
Mm.
That was always like kind of the focal point for a lot of these, or like with Eminem, right? It would be, he's, this, I'm this kind of person, and you can't really fuck with me kind of stuff. But yeah, you can't excuse the like, you've made your career, and you may not be living that lifestyle anymore. So it's like,
Yeah.
what are you going to be rapping about, or what is your message now, like with your new, with your fan base now, like what are you going to be talking about?
Yeah.
you know it's the authenticity, I guess, too, of like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like, Johnny Cash could get up there at 70 years old and be Johnny Cash, but I can't see Eminem getting up there at 70 and still trying to do Slim Shady. Like, you know what I mean? And he can't, because he's put out records in the last few years and you're like, this ain't the same dude. Um,
yeah,
Marshall Mathers LP charted him dealing with sudden fame and all of that kind of stuff. And so, you heard growth, but he was still that angry young man. He's still in his early mid 20s.
yeah,
Um, so it still works, but how do you mellow out and grow and keep coming at it? The intensity has to change. It makes sense why his style has changed throughout the years, but it's also like,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I feel
I
I
don't
feel
know.
you, dude. That's all good.
Yeah. Um, Number three, I think one of maybe the hardest working people in entertainment today, Childish Gambino.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Donald
Um,
Glover, dude.
is it Redbone? That song is fucking
Dude, so
hard,
good,
dude.
so good.
Um, and I'll never forget the first time I saw This Is America, the video. It stopped me. I hadn't had a reaction to a music video like that since the days of TRL. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah,
I was just like, and I watched it again, and it was powerful, and it was moving, and it was scary and brutal and beautiful. And I just think he's a hell of an artist. And he draws kind of from all these different sounds and styles, and it's fucking awesome. I mean, I love Donald Glover, so it's exciting. It's very exciting that he can do both.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't think
Especially,
he's
especially
can do
a guy.
stand up, but
Yeah, I was supposed to say,
you
especially a guy who I kind of, I came from like the Community show, and like, I saw him in that, and he's, being an actor, and he is kind of this, he's a well-rounded kind of an entertainer, I would say. And but yeah, he has a very unique ness to his style and everything. And yeah, he was able to, with stuff like This Is America, and kind of really tell, some of these very, I think, especially, yeah, during that time, and of course, with a lot of these shootings, and a lot of racial tensions and stuff, like he was able to say something with his music, which, I wouldn't say I didn't expect it, but like, you know I'm happy that he became that person who would like had something to say through his visual, and
yeah.
through his like his music too. And then starting to think like, oh, this was Troy from Community, and he's like now the dude who's like capturing America's spirit and stuff. It's
Now
like,
he's the dude who should have been Spider-Man.
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
though, I'm still sad about that. All right, number two, you can't have Eminem without or Snoop Dogg without Dr. Dre. Um, I mean,
Yeah, he's responsible for a lot of, I mean, of that time when they were making music, and also post, like
mhm.
any groups that are coming out. You know, you want to work with Dre as far as a producer and you know, if he is able to feature with you.
Yeah,
He kind of molded the next generation, I guess, of like
very
rappers
much
and
so.
stuff, right? So yeah, Dr. Dre,
And
dude,
his two LPs are fucking historic.
solid, dude. Yeah, historic, solid.
Solid. Yeah.
Damn, Dr.
Um,
Dre, dude.
yeah. And number one, I'm gonna go Outcast.
Yo, wow. I even. Of course they. Yeah, they're legendary for sure, dude.
I mean, hey, yeah, sorry, Miss Jackson, but you know the one, the sneaky kind of hit that everyone always seems to forget about. I like to like come to the rescue at parties with it. Like, I like the way you move.
Ooh, that's right.
Ah, the way you move. Ba-dun-dun. I mean, fuck, Speaker Box, Love Below. What a tremendous
Mm-hmm.
fucking album. Um, all their work was really good, but like that was lightning in a fucking bottle. That album,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was a
Yeah,
double album. I believe, right?
I believe so.
Um,
Yeah, especially with like we had like Big Boy and Andre
Andre
3000.
3000.
They
Yeah,
kind of like were doing like their combined thing, and then also kind of their own features and stuff.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, it's yeah, they're really good. They captured, when I think of, you know, back to the early 2000s, that was some good shit, man.
yeah, dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
and for especially for I guess hip hop and rap, like they I think they elevated the, especially you know with I guess music, you know, even today or whatever. Like they were so ahead of the game as far as like genre bending and like you know it's not strictly this style that they had a very unique style because they were willing to try stuff that maybe wasn't as conventionally hip hop or you know maybe even gangster, you know, like at that time like gangster rap was huge. So it's
right.
like they really did push the sound for you know whoever they were working with at the time. So I think that's why they stood out. You know, they were able to kind of create their unique kind of sound together as the two of them. So yeah, ooh, I like the number
That's my
one
top one.
Outcast, dude.
Hey, there we go.
Shit. I mean, I kind of have a similar list.
I'd love to hear it if you would
It's
love to share it.
sorry, my videos just keeps going blurry. I've got number five. I've got. I mean, he's been around for like, not in the '90s. I would say he's been around since like the 2000s. But this guy Logic, man, he is one of those guys who he built his fan base from you know social media and MySpace and um, he is like one of the I've seen a documentary on him. He's like one of the hardest working like entertainers out there. And he's released like 6 albums. He always works with like a very tight knit kind of production group, and he is just a. I mean, he just tours and what I like about him is he's always had like this real message of. I mean, he did that song about like the suicide line, and you know he. It's interesting because it's like a lot of these rappers that we've probably mentioned. You know, there's the subject that they're rapping about is pretty like you know it's about all sorts of shit, gangster life, you know, drugs, you know,
Some
kind of
heavy shit,
some heavy
man.
shit. And you know what? Sometimes, you know, it especially at the time, you know, there's people like Kid Cudi and like Logic that like were speaking on the other end of it, like as far as like positivity and um, you know, finding uh kind of the light out of loss, I would say. And I think, you know, I honestly there had to be kind of that balance too to like the hip hop community and hip hop music in general. And someone like Logic, I think, really channeled that, and that's why you know he's still around today, you know, making music and stuff. Yeah, I think he said he retired, but I never believed that shit. But Yeah. So Logic for number five as kind of a more kind of recent one.
Very
Um,
nice.
I've got number four. I've got Eminem for all the reasons you mentioned. When his albums dropped, man, yeah, that shit was crazy. If you want to watch, I don't know if you've seen it, Joey, but I think I've talked about it in the podcast before. But there's a HBO documentary called The Defiant Ones, which showcases Dr. Dre's like career. And there's an episode, I think it's like 6 episodes, but there's an episode where it focuses on Dr. Dre and Eminem. And dude, I'm not kidding. Like some of the stories of like how he met Eminem and like that first single, the first like big single, the real Slim Shady, or Hi my name is, like that was literally like Dr. Dre played him something and he got in the booth and started like rapping, and the chemistry between the two of them. But as far as Eminem being like someone who at that time was like rapping about his life, and maybe stuff wasn't that great in what he was rapping
Was
about.
not
It was not
not
great at
good.
all. So he wasn't afraid to say that, and of course he had bars. He could spit like nothing. Um, and I think the way he presented himself and the way he his ad libs and how he had these like sketches and like stuff happening, like you just didn't hear that in like rap at all during that time. It was very kind of straightforward, so he kind of created this kind of like character and the way of like, hey, you can make your music like this and have these kind of situations that might blur reality as far as what I've gone through, but I think he found a good way to like share that with his audience.
Yeah,
So Eminem for sure for four.
very nice.
Three, man, hip hop legend Tupac Shakur, man, gotta rep the West Coast as they say. Um,
Hey,
Tupac, of course, was he was a lot of things. He was a a poet. He was he went to like art school. He was a very well rounded person, and rapper for the time being, and being able to of course collaborate with other people too as well, but kind of share that he like the music was very important to him, and I think he wanted to say stuff through his music, and I think that he never really held back. And I kind of see, weirdly enough, I see stuff like Eminem and a little bit of Tupac, like some of these rappers who are willing to share their story and share maybe the struggles they had. Obviously, being a black man at the time, and even for rap and hip hop, like what that represented to that community. And then Tupac collaborating with like Dre, and I mean California Love is always going to be the California freaking anthem, man. So yeah, Tupac, and then I've watched a few like docs on Tupac, and it's like I didn't know too much about his kind of art background, and I guess doing like poetry and also kind of stage stuff, and so it's he was a really well-rounded guy, but he still had stuff to say and didn't hold back on saying it. And I think that's always the true essence, I think, of like hip hop and rap. And some of these rappers is they have to tell their story. These days I don't know how true these people are, what they're saying on in their lyrics and stuff. So it's like it's so authentic at that time. So Tupac for 3.
very nice.
Number 2, I got Wu-Tang Clan, made up
You
of
know, did you know they ain't nothing to fuck with?
they ain't nothing to fuck with, dude. um, yeah, man. I mean, it's a obviously a collective of rappers. RZA, Method Man. I mean, a whole bunch of them. I think they're still together today, to some degree. I don't think all of them all the members are there, but man, Wu-Tang. I mean, I think they were from like New York or Staten Island or somewhere around there. So they of course this East Coast sound, and they had these kind of very bombastic and hypnotizing beats, and I think the kind of, especially for kind of similar like NWA, like this kind of collective group that had this kind of hive mind of a message, I guess. And I don't know, they made some pretty. I mean, I love their flows too. I think they all had. each of them had a kind of contributing uh like flow, and you could tell each person apart in the group, but they all somehow kind of were able to gel everything together. I think that's why I've always liked them. And yeah, they make for some just good like head bumping music. So
Hell yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan. And I guess they have that one album that like that one album that sold to like that one dude who was like scamming people. Did you hear about that?
No.
They created like a one-off album that like they auctioned to sell to someone, right? So it wasn't being released to the public or anything like that. And that guy, I'm trying to remember his name. Starts with his last name starts with the S, but he's this guy who like scammed, who like overcharged for like medication, these specific
Phil
medications.
Spector?
Not oh man, what's his name? The Wu Tang. Oh, what's his name? I can't. I can't. But anyways, yeah, there was a whole thing. I think he is in jail now because he
Good.
scammed a bunch of people with overcharging for medication.
Yikes.
But yeah, that guy ended up buying the album
Yikes.
for like a couple $1 million, and then now it's like the rights and like the album have been taken from him, and like I think it was like on auction or something like that. Yeah, it's crazy. So there's like a Wu-Tang album like floating out there that someone owns now. That yeah, it's like such a weird thing. So
This Once Upon a Time in Shaolin?
yeah, I think that
Shaolin?
might be it. But I can't remember that guy's name. But he was in a lot of
Because
shit.
it's the seventh studio album by Wu-Tang Clan, limited to a single copy, sold in 2015, the most expensive work of music ever sold.
Yeah.
Holy
And that
shit
gentleman who
balls.
is being I think he's in jail now, but yeah,
Martin Shkreli.
that's him. Yeah, what a piece. He was a piece of shit. Um,
Damn.
yeah, and there's the whole story with that guy too. Um, but yeah,
Wait,
anyways,
is he Pharma Bro?
ooh,
Is he fucking Pharma Bro?
I think he might be, dude.
No shit.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
Is he in jail right now? Hopefully it is.
He's not in jail. This ruling came out the other day, but basically he has to repay everything,
Dude,
and it's like
64
60s. Is it 64? I thought it was like 60.2 or something. Yeah,
something $1 million.
yeah.
It's
And
ridiculous.
he's never allowed to work in the medical field,
Industry
which
ever
is
again.
like a well fucking duh.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So that's a little fun story with the Wu-Tang Clan.
that's what I had no idea.
Recently.
That's wild.
Yeah, it
That's
was like
fucking wild.
it was like one of the most expensive like albums or something, and
Jesus.
it got a lot of shit because it's like this dude owns it, and none of us can no one's gonna like just be like
We
releasing
should fucking raid the vaults.
raid the vaults, dude.
Raid the vaults.
So yeah,
Maybe.
number two, Wu-Tang Clan, and then number one, you said already, Dr. Dre for all those reasons. I mean,
Because he's a billionaire.
he's one of the richest freaking rappers out there. But I think he obviously earned all of that. And obviously if you watch the Defiant Ones, just making some of those like moves with like Beats by Dre, and like man, he made a lot of money off that stuff. But Dr. Dre in general, I mean, working, if you're an upcoming rapper working with that guy, it's that's got to be such I mean, he's a rap legend, and he molded and shaped kind of that next generation of hip hop, either producers or even artists. So I think he I think stands on top of a lot of the stuff because man, he pushed the genre forward. I think as far as what he was doing and his influence on it. So yeah, there we go.
There we are.
Hippity
There we are, sir. Very nice list, Shawnee.
Good list, dudes.
I like that. I like it a lot.
Good man. I'm about to listen to some Dr. Dre after this, man. Shit.
Well, sheesh. uh, very nice. All right, man. Well, it's my turn to ask you a list. So this is what we got.
Hey.
Thinking about it's like what movies? I'm like, I haven't been watching a lot. I mean, actually, I've been watching a lot of 2020. I saw The French Dispatch. I saw Spencer. Um, but yeah, it was like, we're doing a music list already, so I don't want to ask you some music, but I love coffee, and you work in coffee,
Yes, I do.
and
I'm not mentioning that company on my list, but
no. We're not going into specifics. But I too used to work in coffee, which is where I developed my taste for it. And so just thinking about what are your top five favorite cafes or coffee shops? Like, do you have places you like to go to? Do you have like specific beans you like to buy for the house? Um,
ooh,
like I've been very kind of like,
yeah, yeah,
kind of,
yeah.
you know,
I don't, honestly, I don't buy beans as much for myself, just because I still work at the coffee shop, so I'm consuming my caffeine that way.
what
Um,
happens on a day off? Do you not drink coffee?
uh, that's a lie. I actually do
Mm,
I do get
mm.
coffee, but I should be making it at my house more often. I do have a French press
Gotcha.
though. I still enjoy a French
Can you
press.
do a fucking in the 5 years I worked at Starbucks and Pete's, French press is the one thing I could still not do.
Like
I
just
never learned properly because we didn't. It never got ordered enough, so we never wound up having
oh
to do. We'd learn it once, and then someone would order and be like, "You fucking kidding me? You want
oh
a
shit
French press right now?"
yeah.
So I never really.
It's not like super hard. I guess with the experience story, I had the parking attendant at my last location that I worked at. He always got the French press in the morning, so I always had I was always working in the morning, and making that for him. So I got an idea of like how to do it, but it's kind of the same stuff, like the portioning and just like making sure you have good hot water and all that stuff. Um, but and then of course the specific grind for a French press, it comes out good. I still love it though. I still like, if I ever have a chance to make one, I do like having it like that. But for the most part, I do
Yeah.
like iced coffee,
Mm,
like that, yeah, or cold brew or
mm,
whatever, yeah.
mm.
Anyways, so my top fives are kind of varied stuff. I think some of them, some of them are in different locations. Some of them are like, I would say maybe two of these are more franchised. You probably see them like now everywhere. But number five, it's called Cafe. It's a 85C or Cafe 85C. Um,
Ooh.
they're kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say if it's, they're kind of like I don't know if it's Vietnamese or like, I don't want to generalize or anything like that. But they have these kind of like, it's like a pastry, on the go, like pastry kind of joint. So like they make all the food and they have them. Now it's like different because it's COVID, but they wrap them up, and you go in, you get like a tray, and then you pick out the like pastries you want to get. And then they also do like coffee, and they have their own like coffee beans and stuff like that. So I like this. I think I like the way they make their coffee there.
Mm.
Um, both hot and then their iced coffee. There's something, the way they make it, like the process of like how they, I know it's like espresso and stuff, but like just the way maybe the portioning on their iced coffee is just like so good that, or like I guess it'd be like
Or it
a nice,
depends where they get their beans from.
could be like where they get the beans from. The kind of, I'm sure they maybe use like a different what call it, like the way they do this, like the order of like how they put everything. Um,
Sure.
but it's always like really good and delicious, and I like the pastries they make there, and
Mm.
they're all around now. I feel like, I think there's some in like up north and in SF, and the pastries are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, they make them pretty fresh, and you can, I usually just get like some croissants and some muffins or whatever, and then just order like a coffee. So yeah,
Hell
85C.
yeah. Love
Uh,
it.
Number four. This is kind of funny because this coffee shop is literally like, I don't know, like a few stores or a few, like, I wouldn't say blocks, but like it's like a block from where I work. It's Phil's Coffee. I've had some.
You're a fucking Phil's guy?
I thought it was not that bad. I thought it was not that bad. I
No, it's
haven't
not. It's not. Yeah, it's
I
all
haven't
right.
I don't frequent there a lot. But from what I remember having, I think I had just like a latte, or I like to try like the mochas. I always like chocolate, so Mocha was
Do
good.
mochas make you like shit your pants?
No, but I mean, I've been cutting down on the espresso,
Mm.
outside of just like regular coffee, I guess. Um, but I liked Phil's coffee. It was good. Like it was, and you know what I liked more so, aside from just the coffee itself, I like the service, like the way they were able to. They have, I think the one I went into, their bar's like pretty long, and so they just kind of like they don't like have an area where they just drop off your drink. They're like they kind of just hand
Yeah.
it to you where it's at. And I don't know. I'm always into the connecting with customers and people and
The
stuff.
experience.
The experience.
Um,
And
I
so I
went to the Phil's on Polk Street like right after getting like vaccinated. So it was like, and it was still that time where like if you're not or if you're vaxxed, you don't have to wear a mask. And it was like, whoa, whole new
yeah,
world.
whoa.
And I'm in Phil's and like it's just wall to wall people. Everyone's talking to each other and it's just boom, boom, boom. It's just beat, it's like
Yeah.
I was like, are we at a fucking club right now? It's not even 10 in the morning yet. Like it was wild. Phil's is wild to me. My brother lived in North Beach and yet would hike all the way to Russian Hill to go to the Phil's. I'm like, you're in North Beach.
Yeah,
He's like, yeah.
that's far, dude.
I'm like, you're in like, well, it's not like it's far. I mean, we
Yeah.
walked from Russian Hill North Beach quite a few, but I mean, you remember where he was up on the hill.
Yeah, yeah.
So, down that hill, up Russian Hill, then down again and onto Polk
It's a
Street.
trek, right? Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, there's no good coffee in North Beach. I'm like, you're in the Italian district.
yeah.
If Italians are known for anything, it's espresso and coffee.
Stress.
Like,
Yeah,
what
dude.
the
And a cannoli, dude.
yo?
yeah, right? Oh man, I kind of
Anyway,
go this.
anyway, Phil's coffee. Okay, I
yeah.
support that.
Phil's so I got number 3, Copa Vita, which is actually kind of around the corner from where I work too as well. It's a
Nice.
local spot. I'm not sure if they have another location. It might be one of those like they have like 2, maybe
I love that shit.
one in Pasadena and then maybe one like in LA. But from what I remember, I really liked. They had this like agave latte I tried, and it was so good. And it kind of turned me on to agave in my coffee. And I don't
You got
drink it
turned
all the
on.
time. Yeah, I got turned on by it.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's
Thank God you got your rib taken out.
yeah. um, so yeah, I enjoyed their coffee, and it's kind of like that. It's not like cafe vibe. Like you like the going there because it's like it's such a welcoming and like kind of really cool, interesting spot. And that's kind of how I would choose my coffee shops these days. It's kind of like is have a good vibe around it, and it gets tough at maybe some of these, maybe like Phil's or like maybe 85C where it's there could be a lot of people that go there and it can kind of, I wouldn't say ruin it, but if you want to go to a coffee shop, it should be nice and a nice trip there, get a coffee, sit down and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, it's like going to a bar,
exactly. Yeah.
but
Yes.
in the morning time.
In the morning time.
Yeah.
So Copa Vita for 3. 2, I got Blue Bottle coffee.
I say blue balls.
Blue Bottle. I've actually been to the Blue Bottle a few times in San Francisco at the Ferry Building. That one's kind of cool. That whole Ferry Building is kind of an interesting spot. There's a lot of food places, and I think before, obviously when they renovated it, it wasn't as active like that. So it was really cool to kind of go. It's a nice little hub. You get off on Embarcadero if you take the BART, and then you kind of walk there. And I kind of end up usually going to Blue Bottle to grab a coffee and then kind of walk around the area. So,
Yeah.
And I like the aesthetic. I like it's very clean, and I'm always, I don't know, weirdly, I'm always kind of about like the whole aesthetic too sometimes, the
I feel it. That's why I'm a slave to
branding.
Apple products.
Yeah, it's like it's very, it has that kind of branding and stuff. And then
It
there's a
does.
lot of people that work there from what I remember. So it's, very efficient and friendly, and The
Blue
one
Bottle's also, is it Vietnamese or is it Korean?
it has a different
It's like an
the
Asian
way they
origin, I think.
yeah, the way they make it. Let me see if I can Blue Bottle coffee. Blue Bottle coffee. Headquarters is in Oakland. That's kind of cool.
Well, fuck me. Never mind. Um,
I guess it says, well, here's a big one. In 2017, a major stake in the company was acquired by Nestle. So now they're a Nestle parent coffee
did I
organization.
hear? I don't know where I heard that they were like an Asian company or something. I mean, it doesn't matter. I thought it was kind of cool.
Although, I gotta say, if you've ever had Vietnamese iced coffee,
That's what I keep
it's
hearing.
so
I don't
good,
know
dude.
where to get it. I don't know where to go.
Man, I mean, if you could find a Vietnamese restaurant, they would probably have it, but it's usually, I guess the way to describe it, it's like, I guess it's like it's a sweeter iced coffee. So there's definitely like some sort of sugar they're putting in it. I don't know if it's a type of sugar, like a Vietnamese type of sugar.
How do you
Um,
usually get your iced coffee?
you know what? I'm no sugar now these days. I've been
Do you get a
doing
syrup?
not even syrup. I mean, every now and then, like a vanilla, pumping vanilla syrup, but
Yeah, I do vanilla. Yeah.
yeah, I've been doing just either that or just like I've been switching half and half, which kind of balance, kind of gives me a little bit more sweet, and or what you call it, oat milk, which
I only fuck with oat milk now, like the
yeah,
past year and a half.
and
It's great.
all my lattes all oat milk. Cause I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I'm not lactose, but man, just regular milk kind of doesn't sit well with me anymore. So, but yeah,
I mean, it's for children.
it's
It's made specifically for children. I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
So yeah, Blue Bottle, especially, I really enjoy it. I think there's one out here. It's just they're not they're not as available. I wouldn't say available or popular, but there's only like so many I think out here. There's one in downtown LA, and then I think there's one in Pasadena. I could be wrong, but it's not near my where I work, so I don't frequent there as much. But definitely enjoy it. And then my last one, number one, is this place that I went to this last year for the first time, and it's called Rad Coffee. And
oh, is it rad as fuck,
it's rad,
bro?
dude. It's I think there's I think 3 locations out here, and it's the one I went to is in Upland, California. It's kind of a small little town. It's got like antique shops and stuff like that. So it fits perfectly for this coffee shop. And they've got like this. I'm trying to think of the aesthetic they have. It's got like, I don't know. It's got like kind of a rock music aesthetic slash like, um,
Flintstones.
yeah, I don't know how to really describe it. Like, it's just
Hmm.
not. It's not like, and maybe that's why I like it so much. Is I mean, the coffee's good overall. They do more kind of custom like drinks, and they kind of like they have like a frappuccino line, that's very unique and stuff. But yeah, I think I like their coffee more so because of the kind of, yeah, the way they present it and the look of it. And it's just a cool like coffee shop to go to. It's got like cool posters, and like they got a lot of band like posters up on their walls and stuff. And they even got like merch and stuff. It's like a whole thing. So but I really like going there. And it's just like that kind of rarity coffee place. There's maybe only so many out here. um so yeah, that's what I like about Red Coffee. Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I even have one of their. I bought a beanie from. I got a Brad Coffee beanie. So
That's what's up.
yeah,
That's
it's
what's
definitely
up.
repping those guys. So
Sheesh.
yeah, I have
Rad
yet to
coffee.
try their actual. I've only
Coffee?
had I've only had their espresso like lattes there. So I actually can't wait to go back there and try just like a plain old coffee, and with some oat milk in it. So
Oh, yes,
yeah,
baby.
yes,
Yes.
good cup of Joe.
Yes.
I'm
Right
kind of
on,
curious to
man.
hear yours because you've lived in SF downtown. You've had some places in Monterey too, probably, where you've
Hmm.
frequented. You're an avid like person who likes to go, especially walking Marty and like going out. You like to explore. a lot of these
I love
places.
exploring.
So I'm
Yeah, it's
sure
my favorite.
coffee is probably one of the main kind of coffee joints, or the one of the main places you like to frequent, aside from
Well,
bars.
yeah. No, exactly. Well, it's the philosophy that you and I kind of developed while we were walking around Paris that day where we walked like 17 miles. It's like, all right, feeling a little tired, gonna hit a cafe. All right, we walk a little bit more, I'm gonna get a beer. All right, now it's time for another cappuccino. Okay, time for a beer. And it's if you can kind of uh find that balance and keep that going, that's a great day.
I
Because you might just run into the Eiffel Tower.
That's
But
true. That is true. That's a true
um
story.
that is a true fucking story. Episodes 100 something.
Yeah, we have a
Uh
fully documented version of
yeah,
that of
we have
our
two
going out.
episodes. Um yeah, one with Grandma Day.
Oh
So it's
yeah.
good, it's a good time. Number 5. This is going to be a twofer, but it's not really cheating, and I'll tell you why. I'm going to go Crema slash Verve. So Crema was a coffee place down in Pacific Grove.
Okay.
It was upstairs was a restaurant, but downstairs was a nice little cafe. You get breakfast burritos, but they had really amazing pastries, and they had this one latte called the Fog Breaker, which was just fucking dynamite. It was so good. And I can't even tell you what was in it. I think it was like cinnamon and different stuff, but it was good. Um, the secret weapon of Crema was that they brewed Verve, and I fucking love Verve coffee. And the cafe down in Santa Cruz is one of my favorites, and their chocolate chip cookie is to die for. So it's a twofer. It's Crema slash Verve for number 5. We're brewing Verve coffee right now for the week. We have
Ooh,
special coffee for the weekend. Um, and yeah,
I like
there we go.
that.
Number 5.
Cool. Verve. I've never
Yeah.
tried Verve coffee.
Um, ooh, dude, it's
Can
so
you
good.
can you buy it? Can you buy it directly from them? Like, or is it like
You
a?
you can get bags in the stores and
Can I
stuff. Yeah,
find that as okay? I'll have to look out for that.
it's really good. They're great coffee. Also, special quick shout out. They're not on my list, but Pete's. I did work at Pete's for almost 2, 3 years, and I can tell you that the beans are damn good. But right now, they have the Ethiopian Supernatural, which is one of my favorite coffees ever. Um,
Okay.
my mom and I shared a French press one Christmas night, watching The Bad and the Beautiful and drinking Ethiopian Supernatural. It was fantastic. So during this time of year, it's the only time of year I buy beans from Pete's, but this is when I'm buying those beans because they're around for a month and then they're gone for
They're
the year.
gone, right? A
So
little seasonal. That's
yeah,
cool. I like that. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So that's my weekend beans right now. And then the
You got
verb is the
weekend
weekday
beans,
beans.
weekday beans.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Um, so number 4, I'm gonna go Cafe Isabella on Taylor Street, kind of by Grace Cathedral. This is where I would, dude. This is like I have to say I lived kind of a charmed life there for a second. I would get up to go to work at Grace Cathedral. I can say that now. Probably shouldn't, but I did. And I would walk up Green Street, and I'd go to Hyde, and I would catch the cable car. And the cable car would let me off on Taylor Street, and then I'd backtrack a couple blocks to Cafe Isabella on Taylor Street. And they were opening right as I was getting off the cable car every single time. And it was just awesome. They had, I think, still to this day, maybe my favorite iced coffee in the whole city.
Wow.
Um, and they made really good burritos too. And the woman was so nice who owned the place. She was awesome. I adored her. But yeah, Cafe Isabel. It's one of those places where since I don't work there anymore and I'm not there in the mornings, I don't know when I would ever find myself right there again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I do have fond memories, and especially, just jumping off the cable car and like, all right, now I'm getting my coffee. All right, now I'm going to work. Like,
Yeah.
not bad, not bad. Um, Number 3 is a place over by us on 18th. It's Farley's. I think they also have a location in Oakland, but they're delicious.
Delicious. Okay.
I love their I love getting an Americano. I love getting iced Americanos or whatever. Um, they have good breakfast pastries, and they have breakfast empanadas,
Oh
and but
man.
they also like feature artists and stuff
Okay,
in the
okay.
cafes and stuff. So they'll feature like local artwork and things like that, which is very cool. It's a good vibe, and Marty come in with me, and I literally had someone once, not a worker, someone who ordered coffee after me, saw me and Marty, and she was like, "You two just look like you're bonded." I was like, "Yeah,
Dude.
yeah, kind
Yeah.
of."
Kind of.
You know. Um, Number two. So I lived on Green Street, a quarter, not even 10 feet up was uh uh I'm blanking. Larkin was Larkin. And then the next block up was Hyde. And I would catch the cable car on Hyde Street. And there's a wonderful little cafe called Soapbox Cafe.
Soapbox.
I believe it's a Vietnamese cafe. I could be wrong about that. But really good iced coffee. I
Okay.
believe they brew Henry's. I could be wrong about that, but super nice. They'd always give Marty a treat. A nice neighborhood spot where just all the people out in the morning or walking their dogs or recovering from a hangover or what have you. Um, you get your coffee. They have amazing breakfast sandwiches. I can't, if you're looking for a good breakfast sandwich, Soapbox Cafe on Hyde Street, incredible. I would get the egg sandwich with Gouda, smoked Gouda
Hey,
on a
that sounds
ciabatta
good.
bread. Oh, so fucking good. Yeah, but they were just wonderful. I loved them. They opened right at 8:30, whatever it was, and I'd get my coffee, hop on the cable car, and off to work. Um,
Nice.
yeah. So, it was either Soapbox or Isabella. I would hit one of the two.
One of the two. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, Joey, what
So,
you took me to a coffee shop when you were living at your last place, from what I
mhm.
remember. I don't know if it was that place. I'm trying to think.
No,
I
I think we
remember
just went to Pete's.
no, it was a different man, I'm trying to remember, or was it when I stayed over? It was like I remember we
Wait, where I am now? The
no,
last
no,
last time?
the last place you lived in San Francisco,
Okay, in Russian Hill.
in Russian Hill. We walked to this place, and like we had to order outside, and they had like the pretty much the storefront was the door, and there was
Uh-huh.
this nice gentleman, and there was like a few pastries on display, and I'm trying to remember what it was, but I remember we got coffee
Mm.
there, and I thought it was really good, and they have their own beans and stuff that they sell. It was the gentleman who served us. I'm trying to remember. He had kind of frizzy hair, kind of soft spoken kind of dude. Oh man, I'm just trying to remember
Because
what.
I remember we went to Cafe Linnea, which is also very good. I believe they get their
Yeah,
pastries from neighborhood. Neighbor bakery. But where did I take you?
yeah. I'm trying to remember. It was a cool. It had this like really cool storefront.
Did we leave my neighborhood or did we like walk into North
I
Beach?
think we kind of walked into North Beach. Yeah, we didn't walk too far from what I remember.
Too far.
Um,
Okay.
Shoot, I'm trying to remember
Hmm.
that place.
Hmm.
It was really good. I'll have to kind of look it
I
up.
believe it was Soapbox. It was
It might have,
probably
yeah, because I
Soapbox.
think with the artwork stuff, I think I remember seeing some artwork.
No, that's Harley or
Harley,
Farley's.
Farley's. Shoot,
Farley's. Here.
here, okay.
So I've lived in the city. I've lived in the Sunset. I've lived in Russian Hill, and now I'm in Potrero Hill.
So it's
Um,
probably Soapbox then, because I remember you took me to a coffee shop and
because that is a place where you walk up and it's just you order through a
through the
window,
window, right? Yeah,
and then on the other side, it's they give you the thing.
yeah.
You never go inside. So
Never go
yeah,
inside.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That coffee was
It
good.
was probably Soapbox. It's
It's
delicious. It's
delicious. Yeah.
fantastic. I love Soapbox. The only one I love more, my number one, is Hole in the Wall Coffee in on Union in North Beach. Um, this coffee is just incredible. This is my standard, like these are the beans that I brew every single morning when I don't have like, oh, it's the Pete's once a year one that I
Yeah.
brew for sentimental reasons. Like hole in the wall is my favorite fucking coffee I've ever had in my life. And not only that, it's only pour over. So,
Oh, okay.
there's so many times I'll be like just sitting there, kind of hungover, like drinking my coffee, and I'll hear someone go, "Can I get a latte?" It's like, well, we don't really do that, like
I see.
um they have milk that you can pour in, but it's just a row of pour overs. And so you pick your beans, and then you get to have your cup of coffee. Do you want a medium, a roast, or a blonde, or a dark, or um and it literally is just a hole in the fucking wall. And the dude's just stand there. The dude Nick, who owns the place or runs the place, nicest guy. And the coffee is the best, but the experience makes it even better. Nick is a gracious host. He's hilarious. Um, but then everyone in the neighborhood kind of congregates there. There's a guy Joe who they kind of call the mayor, and like knows everybody and tells you where the best places are to eat. I've seen kind of there's so many dudes that just kind of sit there and not camp out all day, but like you're in it. You know what I mean? Like it's
That's
the
cool.
place to fucking be.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know that I'm ever more happy or peaceful um, than when I'm just sipping my coffee with Lise and Marty, like on a Saturday or Sunday morning, usually hungover, with like a CBD thing kicking in, and just like, all right, life is good. They also have, this is kind of funny. So they have what's called a Coco cold brew.
Ooh.
If you were walking up and you saw a Coco cold brew, what would you think you're getting?
Like a chocolate flavored cold brew, I guess.
Wrong. So
Whoa.
Coco cold brew is maybe one of the greatest hangover cures since Tylenol. So basically, what it is, and you know, the first time I ordered one, I didn't know I thought what you thought. I thought it was a chocolate cocoa kind of thing, and I ordered it. Nick wasn't there; it was someone else working, and they didn't explain to me what I was getting. So all of a sudden, I get an iced coffee and a coconut.
What?
And I also had Marty. So I'm like, and she's like, yeah, no, they're both yours. I was like, what?
Huh.
No. They blend the coconut water into the iced coffee, and
What?
then they give you the rest of the coconut so you can keep blending or drinking from it. And it's if you're hungover and you're just kind of and you get your coffee.
Whoa.
Oh my fucking
Really?
God.
I've
Yes.
never heard of that. That's so
It's
interesting. I would have never
phenomenal.
thought of a combination like that with coffee and like coconut. I mean, we have like coconut milk, I guess, but like
It's
it's probably
not,
not the
yeah.
same. Yeah.
And they open one fresh for each person who wants it.
Dude, that's
It's
so
very cool.
cool. I'm very curious to try something like that out because that just sounds like that's like something you don't really get at a coffee shop.
Next
Hole in the
time
wall
you're
thing.
up, we gotta hit hole in the wall. It's my favorite. It's my
After a
absolute
night of
favorite.
drinking
Yeah.
to test out
You know,
the
and
hangover cure.
exactly. It's the only like I loved living over there. And so like when I go back, I've only been here a few months, but I'll, go and have like a day. Me and Lise just did it. And hole in the wall is always our first spot to hit. And sometimes we hit it again on the way back. Um, it's just fantastic, and their beans are just my favorite. And if you're, in North Beach, if you're in San Francisco, it's worth a trip to Hole in the Wall. So there you
Hey,
go.
we're going there then. We're going
Yes.
there. Good list, man. I love hearing kind of your experiences with each place, and especially being kind of now an SF native, like downtown. kind of, I mean, it's cool, man. That's probably one of the best parts about moving and like living in a specific area is getting to know the area and
All
if
the new
you're
spots. Yeah.
all the new spots, right? And if you really like coffee, that's probably one of the best ways to do it is to check out the different coffee shops. So Um, wow. Okay.
It's one way to do it.
Coco cold brew.
The Coco cold
What
brew.
the heck? That's so crazy. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, man.
What a
It's phenomenal.
what a yeah. I'm just like curious. I guess that would be good because I've tried coconut like
It's so
flavor,
good. I don't like
but
coconut, but this thing is so fucking good, dude.
man, okay. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I don't mind coconut, but like I guess in coffee, yeah, it's not really. I don't really do like I always go oat milk, instead of like coconut milk. But if it's the coconut water, that's a totally different thing. That's a totally different beast. So,
Just a whole coconut that's homeboys, and
dude, so they just have a
yeah,
bunch of coconuts in their coffee
yes.
shop. That's so
It's
crazy.
not. They don't even have a shop. It's just basically a little. It's not even a crawl space. You know what I mean? Like you kind of walk in, and it's only enough room for like one, maybe two people. Sometimes
Whoa. Oh,
it's very
cool.
cool. It is very cool.
Man, I'm just gonna look this place up
Yeah,
later. So
I
plan that trip,
absolutely love hole in the wall. It's I sit there and I just like I'm at peace. You know what I mean?
dude. That's cool.
But
That's cool. You
yeah,
get you have a place that gives you that feeling, especially for
yeah,
coffee, man.
yeah.
Dude, man,
There you go. There
I
you go.
it's kind of late, but I kind of want to drink some coffee. Like
Well, there's always decaf.
there's always the decafs. Good list, dude. I
Thanks, man.
kind of like how this combo of lists happened this today. I was like, yo, I was thinking like hip hop, and you're like, man, coffee just sounds really good. And I was like, damn, yeah, it's like, but and I guess now both of us living in kind of in our areas or whatever. I feel like we've explored enough of the areas, and I can't wait to go to like another coffee shop though if we go like out of the country, or
Oh
maybe
yeah.
maybe we might find some really cool
Well,
spots.
I still stand by Europe. Europeans are the only people who know how to properly make a fucking cappuccino. You know.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure, for sure.
yeah,
Nice and fluffy cappuccino, dude. Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah.
can't wait to go back to Europe. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, hopefully this COVID shit's gonna go away.
It won't.
Forever.
It's just
It
gonna keep
won't. Yeah.
mutating. We said, "Here, government, take our balls," and then they said, "Thanks, guys. You don't get them back now." That didn't actually happen,
But
but it feels like it kind of happened. And hey, I'm boosted. I'm not talking shit. Like,
that's
I'm not doing a conspiracy theory. But if I were to, I'm just kidding. Let's not go down that rabbit
but
hole.
yeah.
Jonathan, do you have anything you'd like to share with our dear, sweet, lovely imaginary audience this week?
Yeah, I got two things. You mentioned one earlier, but you've probably seen it. I started this Instagram page slash TikTok page.
You
So I
started one?
well, I kind of discovered this cool digital art, and I've always had this. That's why I was kind of trying to do Photoshop and stuff. I've been very fascinated with digital art lately, and I think I mentioned on my last share time this guy Benny Productions who does kind of photoshopping and stuff like that. But I was like kind of curious about artificially created images. So using like existing images and like whatever the algorithm of the computer or whatever the program is to shoot out different kinds of looks and images. And I found this really cool website called artbreeder.com, and it's pretty much an artificially intelligence generated image that you can create. And it's kind of crazy how much you could do on here, like just for like a free website. And I think it's made by like 6 people, like collaboratively. And it's pretty much you can do portraits, you can do like landscape, like scenes. And what you do is you start with three. Let's just say for a portrait, you start with 3 images from their database. So even creators who are uploading their stuff gets thrown into the database, and you just hit this randomize button so you can cycle through different images. And then when you're ready, you pick an image that you like, and then there's literally all these different attributes and sliders that you can change. So if you want to make the person have bigger eyes, it's kind of like a character creator almost, but
Nice.
with images. But what it's doing is it's utilizing all the images in their database, like the eyes, the nose, all the different features from these different images, and you can literally create an image of a face from the ground up. So I was like, yo, that's super cool. And I've been kind of curious with the whole, NFT thing where you can pretty much sell digital art using cryptocurrency. So I was like, okay, this art breeder thing is super cool. And I, just spent like, a few hours just kind of messing with it. And I was like, you know what? This would be kind of cool. I've created a few kind of images that are very different and unique. And what's great about the site is everything's like Creative Commons or whatever. So like
Hmm.
you can sell the images or you can take those images and use them, for your own, use or whatever. So I ended up kind of combining those two interests together and creating this, I guess, this Instagram called Dimple Portraits, which I've been creating now artificially generated portrait images. I don't know where I'm going to go with this venture, but I've always been looking for another creative outlet, and digital art
Well, I'm
was,
looking you up right now.
yes. Yeah, digital art's always been kind of a thing, and I wouldn't say I'm the greatest digital artist, but having a tool like this, like Art Breeder, to create like images from the ground up, and they also provide on Art Breeder, they call them genes, so these like different attributes that you can add on, so like these kind of like plugins almost, so you can really come up with some crazy stuff, just starting from a face. And I haven't got to the point, but you can upload your own images of your face or whatever image you want, and then you can kind of go from there and create different stuff from there. So I think it's like its own genre of like digital art, because I think I've seen a lot of artificially created artwork. Yeah, that is it, dude.
I've seen this. This followed me. I was like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, dude. My brother actually texted me and he's like, "Yo, I think your account got hacked." And I was like, "No, it's this like digital art thing I'm trying to do." And then with the NFT stuff, yeah, you can purchase the images now using cryptocurrency. So that's what I'm kind of trying to use this as one to kind of do like a different, just a different. I do music all the time, so I've been kind of wondering what's kind of my digital art thing. I've kind of had an interest in that, so I kind of went off on it, and yeah, I just figured like people can check it out, kind of follow the different images I make, and then if you're ever curious about purchasing the digital art, there's a place to do it. So
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah,
That's awesome.
just also
Congratulations.
in the wake of finding a new job too, I'm also trying to find other points of income too, side hustles too as well. But this is also a great kind of, I think it's really cool. I never would have thought I would be kind of doing that, but it is very easy to use, but also you have a lot of control over where you can take that image, I think. And that's what's kind of the beauty of like artificial intelligence or AI kind of generated images. And if you're kind of used to like video games where they have character attributes and sliders like Skyrim, it's a very similar interface. And so you can kind of go just off with that whole thing.
Hell yeah.
So that's one thing. And then Joe, you mentioned you haven't seen Hot Ones on YouTube.
No.
You would enjoy this. It's pretty much an interview style YouTube show hosted by this guy Sean, and
Oh, okay.
you've probably seen it, right? It's pretty much the interview style is there's like a rack of 10 wings. They bring a celebrity on, and the gentleman tries to interview him while they try each wing. And as they go through each wing, there's a different hot sauce correlated to each wing, and the hotness level goes up as they get further and further into the interview. What I like about the interviews is, and they every celebrity points it out, is the guy asks like some very maybe not as obvious questions that they probably get through a lot of interviews, and I think it just makes it for a more kind of unique experience. It's super funny because like as you go on, as it gets more, as the hotness level gets higher, you try to, you get to see like the celebrities like either fold or kind of, try to take it as much as they can. They always have like a gallon of milk or like a cup of milk and some water. And it's really funny. And I think it's one of those like interview shows where since he's asking those types of questions, where it's kind of outside of maybe the usual stuff, and now he has kind of a reputation of, he has like seasons of this stuff. It's kind of more of a looser interview style because they end up kind of sharing some
That's
different
cool.
stories and stuff, and they even when the quarantine happened, they did like a kind of at home version, and then of course, as the show did, they sell these kind of like packs of their hot sauces because every season they kind of curate a new line of hot sauce. So it's very like, it's just kind of like that spin on the. I mean, it's genius because they found a way to kind of do a spin on an interview kind of show, and
Nice.
also make it like thoroughly entertaining, but also kind of bring some different stuff out of the celebrities they have on that you wouldn't really, I think, would get out of a traditional interview. So I think it's always pretty entertaining and fun. The last one I actually watched was the Tom Holland was on the one of the later ones, promoting for Spider-Man. And so it's kind of funny because you hear him now, they're like, man, my brother told me about this show, and like, they've built up this reputation now over time where like, yo, like, they weren't messing around with like the sauce. I'm ready to for the challenge. So yeah, you could watch those, just like you could just watch a few of those and just like kill some time, or like, if you want to just kind of get away from like your usual shows or whatever. It's a fun one to see, and they've had a lot of different people on there. I mean, like all sorts, like from Shaquille O'Neal to like Tom Holland, or all sorts
Those
of
are
people.
that's quite the spectrum.
Quite the spectrum. So
That is quite the spectrum. Nice, man. Well, I'm excited for you about dimple portraits.
yeah, it's never thought I'd be doing something like that, but I've had this interest in digital art for the longest time, and I think I've found like that area of where I can go with it. And then
Nice.
maybe I might get, maybe invest in an iPad and learn how to do more stuff
There you
that way.
go.
So we'll see. We'll see. One
There
day.
you go.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right, Joey.
Well, real quick, two quick things. One, Ronnie Spector passed away,
Oh,
of the Ronettes.
that's right.
So right now, if you're listening to this live, it's our pin tweet. But episode 57, you can hear our cover of Be My Baby, in memoriam of the great, great Ronnie Spector. So there we go. And the show that I was talking about that I binged in pretty much 24 hours, um, HBO's Euphoria.
Oh, I have. You know
Have
what?
you seen this?
I saw the first like 2 episodes, and I wouldn't say I found it interesting, and maybe I just need to follow through with it. But I think I got like tangled in all the other shows that were like out at that time.
Totally. Yeah.
But yeah, I know Zendaya is like the main, she's one of the main actresses in that, and I've heard a lot of
Watching
interesting
her,
stuff.
like, it's like, oh, this is just Zendaya. Because I've only ever really seen her in Spider-Man. And so
Oh
watching her in
yeah,
this, I'm
yeah,
like, oh, it's her character from Spider-Man, but with drugs. I dig it. You know what I mean? Because I do dig her in the Spider-Man movies. But well, what happened was, we're kind of sitting there after our day out in North Beach, and Lee saw the first season of Euphoria, and the second episode or the second season finally premiered after 2 years or whatever. And I'm like,
yeah.
hey, let's throw it on if you want to watch it. She's like, you don't care? I'm like, no, I don't, it's fine. And we're watching it, and I was blown away, dude. I was like, whoa. So we went back and we watched the whole first season,
Oh,
from
cool.
there, and it was great. It was really, really good.
Yeah, I gotta give it a chance because yeah, I think I just fell off it, but yeah, it's one of like I think HBO's biggest shows right now, and
Yeah,
I think there's
yeah.
quite a following behind it. So,
Can't
um,
recommend it enough. It was really good.
hell yeah, okay.
Um,
I am looking. Yeah, I'm not watching that many shows right now. I'm watching. I mean, I already finished Cobra Kai, so I was kind of sad because that one I binged and I was like, that's over. Now I gotta wait like next year for
damn.
um, Daniel. But yeah, I'm not really watching. The Righteous Gemstones, I think, is like the next thing because I remember watching the
Yeah.
first season and that
I
I think
didn't I
that's coming
didn't
out.
finish the first season. Was it good?
It was, for what it is, it's hilarious for what it is because it's like
Right on.
Danny McBride and Anne Levine like being like fake, what do you call them? Like priests, I guess, or
Evangelists or whatever.
evangelists, yeah. So they could do so well in that kind of area, and I'll be thoroughly entertained no matter what goes on.
That's cool. Hell yeah.
But I do have to do a rewatch on Eastbound and Down because it's been a minute since I can't even remember what even happened at the last part of the show. So
I only really liked the first season.
For
and
sure.
There's an episode in the third season that is maybe my favorite, but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
because of Ashley Schaefer BMW. Woo!
I might, because my dad was like repping this show, and I was like, yeah, everyone's kind of watching this show. Handmaid's Tale. Haven't seen that one yet.
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaid's Tale.
Just too. No.
No.
I tried the pilot, and I was like, no, this is so depressing. I can't do this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can get like that.
Heavy, and I don't know. I could be very wrong, but from my interpretation, heavy-handed. But that's just me. I don't know, because I only watched the first episode and not well enough, honestly. So
I'm telling you, dude, Cobra Kai it's my teen drama show for.
I almost asked you your top 5 teen dramas tonight,
actually,
just so I could talk about Euphoria.
Let's keep that in the back pocket, dude, because I'm
yes.
down.
I'll keep it in the
teen
front
dramas
pocket.
like just from like way back?
Is it teen dramas or just teen shows? I don't know.
Shows, I guess.
Because like I didn't watch a lot of teen dramas. I still don't. You know what I mean? Euphoria is an exception.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's kind of the only Cobra Kai I did watch.
But teen show, sure.
Yeah.
Count fresh.
We'll think about that
Prince,
one, but we should revisit that one for sure.
I'm into it. I would like that. Hell yeah. Jonathan.
Yes.
It's coming to that point in the evening where I'm about to ask you.
I think Joey froze.
I did. I just want to see if you would think I did.
I saw you blink for a second. I was like, wait.
You did. You were like, he's fucking with me. Where can we find more of your work on the internet this week?
You guys can find me on Instagram at SeanDayMusic, on my website, SeanDayMusic.net. I mentioned the Dimple Portraits at
Dimple Portraits
on Instagram, and then I guess on TikTok as well.
So you're on TikTok, but you're not on Twitter.
No, dude.
I need to fucking slap you.
But I've been trying to get I want to try to do all the social media routes. But yeah, so far it's that, and check it out. Yeah. Joey, where can we find you?
You can check me on at Joey Parati on Instagram and on Twitter, and on my website, joeyparati.com. You can check out the show at Top 5 Pod. That's TOPFIVE 5 POD on Instagram, on Twitter, at gmail.com. We're on Apple Music, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Anchor, all the damn streaming services. So please give us a like, give us a listen, give us a follow, give us your love, and we will give you
many loves in return, y'all.
Many loves in returns. Also, please watch us on YouTube.
Yes.
Until next time, I'm Joey Parati.
I'm Sean Day.
Thanks for listening.